All right. Hello, you guys. We are Cayla and Jody, and we have been just coming on and doing these lives for the last few weeks just to share a little bit about our story and our journey with all of you. And one of the things, Jody and I have been dear friends for many, many years. We've walked through many seasons of life together, and our current kind of adventure that we're on together is this concept of purpose-driven entrepreneurship. And we've talked a little bit about this each week, but one of the things that we wanted to just take a few minutes today to focus on is kind of defining that a little bit. We always say, like, we're doing purpose-driven entrepreneurship. Well, what does that mean? And why does it matter? And what has kind of the purpose-driven entrepreneurship avenue, like what has that opened up for each of us? So I'm going to just kind of define it a little bit, and then Jody would love to just kind of hear your thoughts and what this has done for your family. Okay, so when we say purpose-driven entrepreneurship, what we're talking about is utilizing business, utilizing entrepreneurship, multiple streams of income to make a difference, not just for our own families, which it's absolutely made a difference for our own families, but also to make a difference for others. And when if you have a heart for helping other people, whether it's the topic of child trafficking, or it's the topic of orphan care or elderly care, or fill in the blank, any number, animal care, like any number of different passions that are on your heart, in order to really make an impact there, you need to have a little bit of capacity, whether it's time for serving, or extra finances for giving, or extra resources to help support different organizations or nonprofits, or your church, or your animal shelter, or whatever it is that you're passionate about. If you are living in a state where you have no capacity, you don't have any time, you're overtired, overcommitted, you don't have any extra finances, you don't have any extra resources, then obviously you're going to be very limited in how you're able to invest in those things. And so one of the things that we are super passionate about and seeing incredible, just seeing incredible things happen with, is the ability to build business and build streams of income to give us greater capacity to invest in the things that matter to us. And so whether that is giving us a little bit of time freedom back, or it's giving us a little bit of flexibility in our finances, giving us that capacity to then invest time, money, resources, whatever it is, into causes and things that we're passionate about. And I think, it's been such a gift for us to not only be able to help our families grow and our families with these added resources that we have, but it's been such a gift, I know, for us to be able to kind of fuel this vision of, like, we want to be able to say yes to the passions that we have in terms of giving and helping others, and building streams of income and building residual income increases our capacity and our ability to be able to do that. And so this idea of, I'm building business with a purpose. And part of that purpose is to help my family. Part of that purpose is to free myself up to have more time to be with my kids, or to take a little bit of financial pressure off my husband. But it doesn't stop there. A big piece of that passion is to increase our capacity so that we can not only change our situation, but also help and invest in people around us in whatever area of passion it is that we have. Something that Jody and I are both deeply passionate about, and we talk about all the time. Like, when we think vision board, we think writing checks for adoptions. We've both Jody and I are very passionate about that, and have had many friends and family members who have gone through the adoption process or even fertility treatments, and they're I mean, those things are so expensive. And, they're trying to raise money $1 at a time through a bake sale. And it's like, man, I want to just write a check. I want to just come alongside and say, like, we're in this with you. This need is covered. Yeah. And that's just one area. I mean, there's a lot of areas that I want to be able to see needs just be met. And so part of my effort and my hard work in what I'm building right now in my business is setting myself up to say yes to more things, setting myself up to utilize my capacity to bless more people. Jody, would you share just a little bit as you've added a new stream of income to your family and you've added the vision of what that could become and what you're working toward? How has this idea of purpose-driven entrepreneurship, how has that played out for you? What have you been able to do that you couldn't do before, and where are you headed?
So our background and our current situation is vocational ministry. So we have always, my husband and I, before we were married, and now our entire marriage, which we just celebrated 10 years. So it's been a long time. We've been on the receiving end of others' generosity. And it's been huge. We've literally had people give us cars. We've had people pay for washer dryers. We've had people that have, like just out of the goodness of their heart, paid for us to go on nice vacations so we could get some restoration because we couldn't afford those things. So that's the context I'm coming from. It had never occurred to me that maybe we could be the people that use money and wealth as a way to impact and influence other people. We've been on the receiving end of that and have experienced the incredible blessing that is in our lives. But I just had never thought like, oh, maybe this is something Bobby and I could step into. We have big dreams and visions for what we want to do. This city that we're in, we're church planters, and we see a lot of needs up close. And for example, a couple years ago, we had a dear friend of ours whose car just puttered out. And it's like, she's working, doing everything she possibly can to support her family, make things work. And this is just one of those unfortunate things that she had no control over. Well, what if we were able or in a position to be able to provide her a vehicle so that she could get to work, which is where she was getting promoted, which is where she was bringing in more income for her family? Really, truly, I think the one thing I used to feel uncomfortable about, but feel more comfortable about, is the idea of money as a way to impact change. You cannot impact change in this world without money. You just can't. There is absolutely no organization, there is no effort for change or impact that doesn't have to be funded by dollars. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but I think I'm just realizing that there's this whole world. When I stepped into entrepreneurship, initially it was because I was trying to keep food on the table for my family. Now it's turned into, I feel like now what I've learned and what I know and what I've seen, it would be irresponsible of me to not work hard to generate this stream of income to then go out and fund the things that have been put on our hearts to fund. Like you mentioned, paying for adoptions. It is a big deal that families have to generate $40,000 in order to adopt a child. That is often the obstacle that keeps families from moving forward in that. Being able to fund organizations or people who are literally boots on the ground doing the things that we don't have the time or the capacity to do, or we're not there in that place. But could we give to it? Absolutely. Do they need the money in order to run the organization, to do the thing, to have the initiative? Yeah, they do. They need that money. So where does that come from? Who pays for that? And where do you generate that? Well, it has to come from somewhere. So this is a new path my husband and I never thought we'd be on, but now we are united in going down this path. Like, okay, you know what? We're going to work really hard to generate not only one stream of income, but multiple streams of income. and use our connections and our time and our talents and even the networks that we've been blessed with in order to generate streams of income so that we can then use that money as a way to fund the visions that we have. And it's been really exciting. It's been unexpected, but it's been really exciting.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think for me personally, it has given me greater vision for sure, but even like fire to do the work of entrepreneurship, to do the work of
Yes.
um I've said this before, but like I don't know if just changing my own situation would be enough to motivate me to do
Yeah.
the hard work of entrepreneurship. I mean, it takes work and it takes consistency and follow through and vision. And I think for me personally in my story, um, the benefit that it brings to my family is important, but having vision for how we can not only help our own family, but help so many others in any variety of ways. Um, I think it really is what keeps me doing the work, you
Yeah.
know, is staying engaged and not giving up.
Yeah.
Is I just have this vision for what's possible. The company that Jody and I are working with right now, building a stream of income, our founder, who's a dear friend of ours, she always says, like, you can't change the world if you can't pay your electric bill. You know, it's like, and honestly, the company that we're working with, she founded in a place where she had a vision to make an impact on the world. She had a heart to change people's lives and to use business for good. And they were in a financial crisis as a family where they were literally not able to pay their electric bill. And you know, this whole company was born out of a place for her of like, man, I want to have impact. I want to bless families. I want to serve people. I need to be able to fix the money problem. I need to be able to pay my bills so that I can also build something that impacts, you know, other families. And that was really the heart through which this company was founded. And then when she started this company, she knew very early, like, man, I want to use my business to bless others. I want to use my business to impact and to serve. And so all through the business model, the products, everything is designed around serving people,
Yeah.
including the fact that Jamie has created this as a for purpose business. And a portion of every purchase that is made in this holistic wellness company, a portion of every purchase is given back in partnership with other organizations to fuel efforts to end child trafficking. And so it's like, man, let's create a company that serves people and that provides opportunity for families, and also where every purchase has a give back built in. And we'll just be serving people in all kinds of ways, you know? And so it's just been a really beautiful thing to partner with. And so as we are building business and creating a stream of income that's allowing our families to give and to serve, we're doing so within a company that's giving and serving.
Yeah.
It just is so it just is so motivating for me to continue to share it. And you know, and then of course our company and our product line is serving people and bringing real solutions for people's health and their wellness, and giving people power back in that area also. So it's providing health solutions and allowing people to have the power back over their wellness, and focus on prevention and you know, self-care before disease is evident or there present, you know, like and so providing those opportunities and then also in a give back model, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Yeah, and that was I think one of the other things is that there's so much stigma around money and wealth, and I'm actually going live on my own social media platforms today to talk about this in less than an hour. And I think part of that makes it very difficult for people to view money as a resource to be stewarded instead of something that people just try to accumulate. And we can do this with anything, but money, there's such a stigma attached to it. But what if we reframed it? And especially for those of you who are, you have a vision for how you want to impact the world. You have a vision for how you want to change people's lives and be a part of that. How are you funding that? What is your feeling around money? What is the stigma that's around money for you? I just think it's worth digging into and examining, because money in itself is neutral. It's just a resource, just like, time is a resource, water is a resource, land is a resource. Money is simply a resource. It's not something that has feelings or, is a being, but there is so much that it surfaces in us that I think is worth acknowledging and digging into, and hopefully brings us out on the other side where we have a healthy relationship with money, first in our own lives and home, but then as we use it as a resource to be stewarded to serve and bless other people.
Totally. Yep. I love it. Well, I can't wait for you to go live later today. I'll be watching.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have shared this in the past, but I'm just going to say it again because it goes with what we're talking about. But my brother is an entrepreneur who he and my sister-in-law are deeply passionate about helping entrepreneurs and business owners create this for-purpose mindset, and then learn how to excel in their craft, whatever area of business and entrepreneurship they're in, so that, as we're talking about, they can increase their resources, they can increase their capacity and their ability to make an impact. Anyway, if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner that resonates with, DM either one of us, reach out to us, and we can get you information about that network of entrepreneurs. There's actually a conference coming up next month. Incredible Jim Quick and Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and, big name entrepreneurs, business owners, speakers that are going to be coming and contributing to that event. So anyway, if you're interested, let me know. But also, with that, several years ago, my brother gave a TED Talk, and in his TED Talk, his TED Talk is actually titled "How Money Can Buy Happiness," and he's talking about how, if your money is not buying you happiness, then you're shopping in the wrong stores. Because with money, Jody, like you were just saying, with money comes leverage. With money comes the ability to serve and to give, and capacity and resources. It's like, if we have no money, we are very limited in how we are able to impact the world. And as our money increases and our true self is able to be kind of highlighted by that, should we choose to use it for good, the good that can come from that is exponential. And so it's something that we're experiencing, we're tasting, we're gaining vision for. We're seeing the blessings of, not just in our own businesses, but in, so many lives of the individuals, men and women that we've partnered with, and that we're working with in the company that we are building income with. And and certainly with what my brother and my sister-in-law are doing and building, just able to watch what happens when an entrepreneur and a business owner catches a vision for their ability to use their business for impact, and to build that into their model. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, so amazing. So amazing. Well, we will be back to talk about these things over and over and over again, because we're very passionate about educating and coming back. But thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next week on one of our platforms.
We'll be here.
Bye, everyone.